Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTF. LOLF to WBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001. More importantly, we're running the invasion angle. And we're going to be, I should say we're booking the invasion angle. And we're going to be running WCW Thursday Night Nitro here tonight. This might be a little bit more of a chill episode. I just want to get you guys prepared. I might not be going overboard with a lot of the voices. I might not be going overboard in just general. It's almost about 11 o'clock. I don't want to be too loud. I'm tired. Not too tired, but I'm getting there. I got work in the morning. I don't want to bring anybody down. I wanted to record this. Mostly because I'm trying to stay committed. Prove I can stay committed for once. And get this uploaded onto Thursdays. You know, trying to follow the schedule with Monday being Raws, Thursday being Nitro, and then Sundays being Heat and the pay-per-views. You know what I'm trying to say here? It's just a little weirder because I had work at night today, so I didn't get to record like I normally do during the day, or when I get off work during the day, I should say. Either way, I'm rambling on here like I normally do. Let's go ahead and run the show now that I've explained that's going to be more of a chill episode. So we got a pre-show match here. Gets a solid grade. Solid grade in general. When I say a solid grade, it gets a straight down the middle 50 grade. So this was pretty much, you got an F pretty much, but it's a D plus in this game. So congratulations on that. Terrible wrestling. Non-existent crowd heat. Jerry Lynn goes on to defeat Sandman in 4 minutes, 52 seconds by disqualification. I'd imagine pretty much Sandman may be drunk. It was terrible. I'm not going to look in the dirt sheet and spoil it. We're just going to see in the next segment. Either way, Sandman possibly under the influence, but it doesn't matter because it's just kind of his gimmick in general. Taking his kendo stick, or Singapore cane, call it what you like, and hitting Jerry Lynn over the head with it, clearly in front of the referee, leading to the referee having to disqualify him. That's how the rules work, guys. Sandman with the in-ring performance of a 40, Jerry Lynn with that 50. So Jerry Lynn right down the middle. Sandman's improving in performance, so that's interesting. And he wasn't drunk. You survived one night, Sandman. You survived one night. We go to a solid C rating here that gets a 62. In a poor pre-show match, Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty, Too Cool, go on to defeat Chronic in 10 minutes, 12 seconds when Rikishi defeated Bryan Adams with the Rikishi driver. I'd also hope that he got a stink face in there because I'm Vince McMahon, damn it, and I hate Bryan Adams. That was probably the worst Vince McMahon ever. Then again, mine's not too good when I try it in general. Scotty with the worst in-ring performance, but still not too bad. 49 here. Rikishi with the best at the 62, and then we got Chronic with the 58 and 55. Oh, I forgot this. Normally I say, oh, by the way, we're going to be starting off the show. But I totally forgot. Sorry. So here we go to start out the show. We get a solid A rating here, 90, after the video package, of course, airing, showing what happened last week where RVD became the number one contender. Nitro starts with the owner, the owner of WCW, Shane McMahon, and the man who RVD will actually face, the WCW World Champion Booker T, making their way down to the ring. Once in the ring, Shane then grabs the mic and he says, "I'm not happy, DC. I'm not happy one bit. As we've clearly seen in the video package before the show started, somehow, some way, Paul Heyman and his band of extremely crappy wrestlers managed to weasel their way not only onto Unforgiven pay-per-view against my superstars, but one of those lucky backyard wrestlers managed to earn their way into a match against Booker T for the WCW World Championship. And that's all thanks to one man, Diamond Dallas Page. That's right. Your people's champion is the reason why some outsider has a chance to walk away with our top prize. So Paige, get your ass out here, because you and I need to have a little talk. But instead of getting Diamond Dallas Page, Paul Heyman / ECW's theme song hits, and out comes Paul Heyman along with the number one contender Rob Van Dam, who was rated on overness here, by the way. Just want to point out, although he was dreadful. Out they come, and Heyman... Oh, are we going to have to go to our first promo of the night? I guess so. Heyman says, Shane, are you upset? Is Mr. Richie Rich sad that he didn't get his way for once? Aw, well, tough crap. Welcome to the real world, kid. And now that Daddy and Mommy aren't here to feed you silver dollars on your silver spoon anymore, and now you're stuck with Uncle Paul E. Heyman and his friends, the men your family have always tried to keep you safe from. See, that's why your dad agreed to this. Because he knew that eventually he'd kill WCW, but he wanted to kill it quick. He wanted to get rid of you fast. He knew that things needed to get a little more extreme. And then Shane goes on saying, oh, Paul, cut the crap. What you call extreme, I call an excuse to hide the joke that your company was. Your wrestlers are stunt doubles. You cashed in on drunks and druggies and a town full of them, and the very few promising talents that ECW had were snatched up by the bigger companies, leaving ECW in the dust to fall like it eventually did. Heyman responds by saying, yes, but, at least my company didn't fail because of lack of trying. While we worked 365 days a year to keep ECW afloat, WCW had everything handed to them and more, and still couldn't stay alive. Yeah, but under my management, WCW has flourished. And soon, we will end this war with WWF once we move past you and this distraction. Distraction? And then Paul Heyman laughs at Shane and he says, oh, Shane, I can't wait to see your reaction when this Sunday, Rob Van Dam, and when, of course, he does the Rob Van Dam, RVD's doing the whole RVD, Rob Van Dam pose, and Heyman continues saying, beat your guy for the WCW, again, imagine just RVD probably doing the pose, and then he's going to say, oh my, but before he can, even finish saying championship, he says, oh my God! And that's because Chuck Palumbo comes out of nowhere, and he attacks RVD from behind. What the hell's Chuck Palumbo doing here? He's beating him down. He eventually grabs him, of course, by his ponytail and by his tights, and he just kind of, tosses him off the stage, probably on this, some padding so he's not hurt, whatever you want to call it. Heyman's just, stunned, and he goes and checks on him. And then Stacy, with her mic, she says, sorry, Shane, but Chuck and I just couldn't stand to hear another word out of his mouth. I didn't think you'd mind, though. In fact, I figured we'd be doing you a favor. And then Shane's got a big smile on his face, and he says, mind? No, not at all, Stace. Thank you, Stacy. In fact, you just helped me come up with a great idea for tonight's main event. Hey, Paul, if you're so confident in your guy, then if RVD's still able to stand, then how about he goes one-on-one with Chuck Palumbo tonight? And that sets up our main event of the night, Nerds and Geeks, which will see Chuck Palumbo battle Rob Van Dam. So Shane McMahon was superb working without a script. Paul Heyman, superb working out without a script. Both of them did well. Probably is the reason why this angle did so well. Bobby Heenan, of course, unfortunately was weak, which is a shame, because I love some Bobby Heenan on the commentary table. Shane McMahon was good. Booker T was good. Heyman looked good. RVD looked dreadful. But everything's good. Chuck Palumbo also improving in acting, as is Stacy Keibler. Good stuff. Moving on to our next segment, we get a solid C rating here with a 65. The Hardcore Champion, Ron Simmons, is standing in the ring. He has a mic in hand. He says, week after week, all I've been hearing about is these ECW guys. People I don't even know approach me in the street saying, Ron, just wait till you face someone from ECW. Ron, once you take on an ECW guy, you'll see what real hardcore is. Well, I'm sick of hearing it. You people have no respect for your hardcore champion, the man who single-handedly brought this title's prestige up. And I'm sick of hearing you about these ECW guys. So here's a chance for one of you punks to show me what real hardcore is. Come down here and face your destroyer. Oops, didn't mean to do that. By the way, when I booked this, I don't know if I was trying to copy the Samoa Joe thing or if I booked it before. But watching Raw or knowing I watched Raw and seeing it saying Destroyer now kind of makes it seem like I copied Samoa Joe, didn't I? Which I might have. I don't remember if I did it for that reason or not. Either way, that's when Sabu's music hits, and we're taking a risk here because Sabu already injured one of our champions. But either way, Sabu's music hits, and down comes the suicidal, homicidal, death-defying. I feel like there was another one in there. Death-defying Sabu. I don't know. Either way, who is ready to accept Ron Simmons' challenge, and Simmons says, "Is this it? You're one of those ECW guys I've been hearing about? You think all those scars on your body scare me? That just means you can take a beating. Get me a ref." And that starts our Hardcore Championship match. Ron Simmons was fantastic. Sabu underperformed. So we go to our opening match of the night, which gets a, wow, who would have thought, which gets a 74 B-. Very impressive. And about that had decent wrestling, but not much weight and heat. Sabu does it, nerds and geeks. Sabu goes on to defeat Ron Simmons in a hardcore match, because, ECW. Either way, goes on to defeat Ron Simmons for the Hardcore Championship in 10 minutes, 13 seconds, with the triple jump moonsault, becoming the WWF Hardcore Champion. I almost said becoming the Hardcore title because I was reading from that. Either way, I believe I had to keep Ron Simmons strong or something in order to, in order for him to lose, which is usually what I have to do with these ECW guys. Either way, Sabu with a 53, Ron Simmons with a 79, didn't suffer from an injury, so no complaints. Let's look at this for curiosity. Dirt sheet. Sabu, well suited for the style of the match. This was a wild brawl, so good for that. Star quality as well, surprisingly. Going all out, good gimmick. Everything's looking good. Impressive. Everything. Look, Ron Simmons, you drunk. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. This did good too. To be fair, though, Sandman I don't believe was rated. Either way, we go to a solid B rating with a 79 here. We're backstage. We see Sandman. He's smoking a cigar. He's watching TV backstage. And that's when, he's watching TV. He just saw Sabu win the Hardcore Championship, and he says, "There you go, boo. Let's show these WCW punks what hardcore really means." And then, of course, probably takes a drag or takes a jug of whatever alcohol he's drinking that night. And that's when the commissioner, Lord Steven Regal, walks up alongside WCW Power Plant. And Sandman turns around and he greets them, of course, in the only way Sandman knows how to. And he says, "The hell do you idiots want? Looking for another beatdown, sunshine?" And then Regal says, "Actually, yes, but it won't be you giving the beatdown this time." And that's when Power Plant jumps Sandman. And the two men let's try that again. The two men begin to brawl with the former ECW World Champion backstage. They throw him into the TV he was watching. They throw him into a randomly set up pile of poles because I remember one of you nerds and geeks told me that was your favorite backstage prop, so I remember to put it in. They throw him into the walls. They throw him into pretty much anything they can toss him into, beating him down, tossing him anywhere, before picking him up and hitting their new finisher that I like to call the Power Plant Bomb, which is really just probably kind of like a double power bomb in some sort of way. I don't know if they both pick him up and power bomb him, or it's just like an aided power bomb. You imagine what it is. Either way, I thought it would be clever. The power bomb, power plant bomb. Why the hell not? It's a generic big guy move either way. Onto the catering table, smashing, of course, through the table and taking all the good food with it. Regal then gets down on me and says, "Was that hardcore enough for you, sunshine?" And that's when we hear a voice in the background say, "What the hell's going on?" And then we see Test and Albert come running in, and they chase off Power Plant and they chase off Regal. Of course, because who else would it be? Not just some random person. Of course, it's got to be the the champions, chasing off their number one contenders. Because why not? And then they go to check on Sandman. So Stasiak getting better at his gimmick. It did get the crowd hotter. So seeing Sandman get written off TV, because that's just what happened, nerds and geeks, we're either going to A, keep putting Sandman in pre-show matches and wait till he gets drunk and suspend him, or B, keep putting him in pre-show matches and be impressed enough by him to see maybe he changed his ways and then probably fuck up later on, but give him another chance. Either way, Sandman is on the chopping block right now. We'll see what he decides to do. Just because he didn't decide to drink tonight doesn't mean he won't do it on Heat or wherever the hell else we go. Like I said, Stasiak getting better at his gimmick. Crowd got hotter. TNA versus Power Plant got more heat to it. Everything did good. Then we go to another solid A here. Hell yes. 92 rating. Ric Flair alongside Chris Benoit. They just arrived to the arena. The arena, not arena, what a wiener. Arena, and they're walking up, with their bags and all that, and that's when Edge and Christian approached them, and Christian says, "Hey, Edge, does Benoit look pissed off today?" And then Edge replies, "What do you mean, Christian? He's always pissed off." "Yeah, but doesn't he look even more pissed today, like almost that he lost something?" And then Edge, what do you think it could be? And Christian says, I'm not sure, Edge. Hey, wait a minute. Edge, is that the WCW United States Championship around your waist? And then Edge goes, "Why, yes, it is, Christian." And Christian goes, "When did you win that?" "When I beat this wannabe hockey player inside Hell in a Cell on Raw." And then Flair finally stops and he goes, "All right, that's enough out of you two. Enjoy your reign while it lasts, Edge, because this Sunday the champ is taking his title back." And then Christian says, "Yeah, well, how about tonight? Because last I checked, you're not in action tonight. And I may not remember Edge winning the U.S. Championship, but I do remember you jumping me, and I'd like some revenge." And I'm not sure if I made this a promo or not. I know I have another promo. No, I didn't. So, pretty much, I ran out of room. I have a lot of promos, I guess, tonight, or I just wrote a lot of stuff in the promos. Either way, Ric Flair would probably, go on to respond, or maybe Benoit would respond saying, "You know what, I got some bent up frustration anyway, so I have no problem battling you tonight." Either way, it sets up for our next match between Chris Benoit and Christian, as Christian's looking to get some revenge after getting a beatdown from Chris Benoit on Monday Night Raw. So Benoit was good. Christian, unfortunately, performed poorly, but either way, still good stuff. So we move on to that match that gets a B- rating, 75, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Christian actually goes on to No! Why do you do this? No! Pinfall. Christian goes on to defeat Chris Benoit in 10 minutes, 13 seconds with pinfall, or by pinfall, after a distraction from Edge. So Edge kind of, played it up. Maybe Ric Flair was looking to get involved, and Edge came back out, distracting Benoit, leading to Christian maybe hitting the unprettier, maybe even hitting a spear. 1, 2, 3. Beats the former United States champion and the current Intercontinental champion. So, big win for Christian. Benoit with the 92, Christian with the 74. This unfortunately did lose heat for the Benoit Edge storyline. I figured Christian and Benoit would have got a better rating than this. Christian, what are you doing, man? Come on. Why'd you bring this down? It was a heel. That is true. Wow. We then go to a A-star 98 rating. I guess I forgot to put the Undertaker in this, or I did put him in this, but forgot to put him on screen. But he was supposed to be here. Either way, 98 rating. We're back from our commercial break. The Hell in a Cell is surrounding the ring. The announcers, just like they were on Monday Night Raw, they're just putting over how terrifying the structure is. And that's when the Giant's music plays. And out comes, Paul White, the Giant, as the announcers start recapping what The Undertaker had to say to the Giant on Monday Night Raw this week. Giant walks inside the cell. He gets into the ring with a mic, and he says, I've never been inside one of these things before. But the way everyone talks about it, you think I'd be more impressed. But I'm not. You'd think after all the threats that the dead man threw at me on Monday Night Raw that I'd be scared. But I'm not. Dead man, You ran through your list of victims on Raw, and while I'll admit it's impressive, but I think my list may be more impressive. See, I may not have been inside the Hell in a Cell, but I've been piling up bodies since I stepped in the ring and beat Hulk Hogan for the WCW title. When people step into the ring with me, they don't walk out the same. You think surrounding a cell around us is going to change the result? Hold on. For the result from the last time, because it's not. If anything, it just gives me more options on how to hurt you. You said that this Sunday I'm going to rest in peace. That's not happening. This Sunday I will be putting you down to rest, but it won't be peacefully. And when I'm done, I'm going to throw you through that cell and into your grave and bury you into your own yard, ending The Undertaker once and for all. And that's when the lights start to flicker on and off, because the hash singing the bash singing, you all know who I'm talking about. Either way, lights start flickering on and off. The cells start to begin to rise. We don't know why. And then we hear the familiar gong go off before the lights just completely turn off. And then we hear the motorcycle revving. We see fire just spitting out the back of it, we assume. Lights turn back on. And the cell is now up all the way. And we see the dead man on his bike at the entryway. That's why I said he should have been here. And he does the whole, throat chop taunt thing he does, where he puts his thumb up and he slides it across. And then the lights just go back out again. We hear the gong. We hear the bike rev again. The fire comes out, and then they come back on. And he's not there anymore. Where'd The Undertaker go? And that's the end of the segment. So Undertaker, despite being in his biker gimmick, starting to show still signs, connections to the dead man, the dark side. So there you got that going on too. But either way, Giant gave it a great promo here that managed to get us 98 rating. A-star. Good for you, Giant. Good for you. I imagine The Undertaker's freaky stuff also helped that. But either way, good on, guys. Gained heat as well. Bobby Heenan stopped being so bad. We then follow up with a solid C rating here, getting a 60 rating. We're backstage, and why is Chavo Guerrero? So I don't put The Undertaker on the screen, but I put Chavo Guerrero on screen. Lovely. Stupid. So backstage, we're with the WCW Commissioner, Lord Steven Regal, in his office, alongside Billy Kidman, and Regal says, now, due to the unfortunate events that happened last week when Rey Mysterio Jr. was forced to step in the ring with that barbarian Sabu, Rey was injured, and he suffered a torn quad, and he'll be out from anywhere to 5 to 7 months. Now, because of that, Rey Mysterio Jr. has been forced to vacate the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, and due to since that you were the next in line to challenge for the championship, Shane and I only see it fair that you should step up and lead the Cruiserweight division as its champion. And then he goes to hand Billy Kidman the championship, and Kidman says, he's looking down at the title, and he says, if it's all saying to you, Lord Regal, as much as I want to be WCW Cruiserweight champion again, I want to earn that title. And then Regal goes, well, Billy, I guess I could search for an opponent, but are you sure? And then Kidman says, I'm positive. This title deserves better than just be passed around to the next title contenders anytime someone gets injured. This title deserves to be defended in front. I had something I wanted to say, because I put but I ran out of space, and because, this was one of the last things I wrote in, I didn't have enough room, because I had a lot of promo space, but either way, this title deserves to be defended and highlighted, which is what I was going to say, in front of everybody. And don't even worry about taking on a contender, because I've got the perfect person in mind. You see, every time I've gotten a Cruiserweight Championship match, there's always been one person there to make sure that I didn't win, to make sure the match got thrown out, to make sure he got all the attention. And that man was Chavo Guerrero Jr. I know he's an ECW guy, which makes it even more bittersweet when I beat him at Unforgiven for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I'd imagine Regal probably responding or something, saying, well, what if he wins? And then Kidman will say, he's not going to win, Regal. If you believe in me to be the face of this division, then you know Chavo Guerrero can't beat me. And then Regal goes on and agrees, and that sets up for a match that was originally going to be a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight Championship, but then Sabu injured Chavo Guerrero, And that leads to it being now, not Rey Mysterio Jr., that leads to it being a one-on-one match between the two. So WCW spelled that wrong, Cruiserweight Championship. Billy Kidman representing WCW. And Chavo Guerrero Jr. representing ECW. There you go. Did we confirm any other matches yet? Only the Chuck Palumbo match. That's what I was thinking about earlier tonight. And Billy Kidman learning to show more charisma. Good on him. Good on him. We follow up with a 74 B- rating here. Disco Inferno and Alex Wright, Das Wonder Kid making their rare appearances from the developmental territory. In an extremely short match, the Steiner brothers, the WCW Tag Team Champions, go on to defeat Disco Inferno and Das Wonder Kid Alex Wright in 4 minutes, 46 seconds, when Scott Steiner defeated Alex Wright with the Steiner device. In terms of in-ring work, Scott Steiner, of course, was head over and shoulders above everybody else, while Disco Inferno was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. That's unfortunate. No big deal, though. No big deal. This is just really a way to highlight the two brothers. Scott Steiner really stood out, so that's good. Rick with a 79. Scott Steiner with a 99. Hell, Jesus, Scott. Alex Wright with a 52, and Disco with a 41. Das Wonder Kid's not too far off, guys. Might have to call him up sooner rather than later, because I'm starting to run out of people in Nitro as well. So, let me check this out. Look at that star quality for Das Wonder Kid, Alex Wright. Good for him. Of course, Disco Inferno sucks at being a babyface too, which sucks. I don't know why. He should be a perfect babyface. So either way, I don't know why I'm highlighting this segment so much. We then go on to an 82 solid B, Nerds and Geeks. After the match, the Dudley Boys music plays, and out they come. They're clapping. Scott then grabs the mic and he says, "What do you two fat asses want? You two looking for another beatdown? Because, trust me and my brother hardly broke a sweat in that match. So if you two are looking to fight, then let's fight." And then Bubba takes the mic and he says, "Do you ever shut up? You don't have to scream in the microphone, you idiot. It's there to ensure that everyone can hear you. But anyway, let me tell you why we're out here, Stutter Bros. These past weeks, we've both been at each other's throats. We think it's about time that ends. No more sneak attacks. This Sunday, if you two are mad enough, put those WCW tag titles up for grabs and let's see which brother team is better." And then Scott replies, "You're insane if you think you and your brother could even lace me and my brother's boots, let alone stand in the ring with us. But if you want to learn the same lesson the Hardys did, then it'll be our pleasure. We'll see you Sunday." And that confirms yet another match for Unforgiven. Our second tag team title match, I should say, as Scott and Rick Steiner will defend their WCW Tag Team Championships against Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys. Oh, hold on. I still got to put this in. WCW Tag Team Championship. There we go. Steiner brothers representing WCW. And they're also the champions. Versus the Dudley Boys representing WWF / ECW. Because they represent both companies. So there you have that. Yet another match. Scott Steiner was good. Yet another match confirmed. That's what I was about to say. And it gained heat for that. Devon is improving in acting. Wow. This did way better than it deserved to do. We then go to a 77 solid B rating here. In a decent match, Diamond Dallas Page going on to defeat Hugh Morris. I'd imagine, there's no real backstory here, but the color commentators probably putting over, or maybe they even show a highlight of when DDP hit the diamond cut on Hugh Morris a while back. But pretty much just, talking about the history and why, Hugh Morris requested this match and yada, yada, yada. Either way, DDP goes over Hugh Morris in 7 minutes, 51 seconds with the Diamond Cutter. DDP got an 84. Morris with a 69, which is, makes sense for Hugh Morris. And he's improving in performance. Good for him. This is impressive. Why did this do so well? 77B? I don't know. I can't even tell you why this did so well. This just did well. It's impressive, guys. Good for you guys. This did well, too. That was really loud. I'm sorry. I probably screamed in your ear, but holy Tommy Dreamer was rated on the mic. Why did this do so? Jeez. This did great. Solid B rating here, guys. 81. I mean, that's not great, but I was expecting it to do like maybe a B- because it's Tommy Dreamer. Either way, after the match, DDP, he asked for a mic, and then he takes it, and he, hold on, let me take a drink real quick. And he says, I've been getting a lot of heat around here, all because last week I lost, and now some ECW guy faces Booker T this Sunday. Now I understand, I'd be pissed too. Hell, I am pissed. But I don't know why everyone is putting the blame on me when the only reason RVD won last week was because some weasel put his nose where it didn't belong. Tommy Dreamer, you wanted my attention. Well, you've got it. Get your ass out here. And that's when Tommy Dreamer's music hits, and now he comes along with, Beulah McGillicuddy. That's what I'm trying to say. And then he says, welcome, here, take a mic. Because I want to talk to you. And then, Dreamer takes the mic and he says, Dreamer, what in the world are you thinking? Do you know what you did last week? Not only did you ensure ECW gets its title shot, which, I can understand, standing up for your company, doing the best thing for your company. I can understand that, but, in doing so, you cost me my rightful title shot. And for that, you're going to pay because, I went to Shane, and while me and him may not be on the best terms right now, but I talked to him, and he granted me a match at Unforgiven against you. And that leads us up to our next promo up here, and he says, what's your deal, Tommy? You're costing me matches, you're copying me, and then Dreamer finally talks, and he says, copying you? And then DDP says, yeah. You walk around calling yourself the heart and soul of ECW, which is basically the same thing as calling yourself the People's Champion. First Rock, and now I got you copying me? And the Dreamer stands up and he says, he doesn't stand up, he's already standing up, but he stands up for himself, I should say, and he says, while they may be similar, I promise you that I'm not copying you. Because unlike you, I'm not an egotistical jackass who only cares about himself. You say you're here for the people, and there may be some truth to that. But at the end of the day, it's DDP before anyone else. That's why, despite being at war, you've decided that you should be the world champion, opting to battle your own teammate instead of battling besides them in this war. You don't think I'd like to be the one challenging Booker T this Sunday? Of course I want to. But instead I'm stuck fighting you. And I'll do it gladly because my company is at war. And at the end of the day, I won't ever get a damn title shot if my company's no longer around. That's when DDP kind of laughs and he says, newsflash, your company is no longer around. Vince may have brought them back temporarily, but after this Sunday, it's back to the grave for ECW and back to the bingo halls for you guys. And this is where I finally ran out of space. I wrote this promo in a little later because we have another promo, as you can see. RVD's right there. But, as we can just delete all this stuff now. So he points out that pretty much after this Sunday that ECW is going to be done. Dreamer and the rest of ECW are going to be back in their bingo halls. I don't know. Tommy Dreamer says something. I had something in my head, of course, but like how it goes, nerds and geeks. You forget after a while. Tommy Dreamer says something, and maybe he says something, why wait till Sunday or something, right? I think this is what I was going to say. Dreamer gets angry or something. He says, what, Paige, if you're looking to fight, why wait till Sunday? We can do this right now. And then Paige just goes, yeah, you're right, we can. And then he just catches him out of nowhere with the diamond cutter, laying him down. And he'll be like, but I'd rather not. See you Sunday, Tommy. And then tosses the mic down as he walks away. And, you got Beulah checking on Tommy. And that confirms another match for Unforgiven. It's almost like... Well, it's not almost like anything. I've already planned these matches. But it's almost like this show is getting sold last minute somehow, you know? So, pretty much, it's kind of like the feud between Rock and DDP before, if you think about it, except this time it's ECW's People's Champion. So there we go. DDP versus Tommy Dreamer on ECW. So this is the card so far. Diamond Dallas Page versus Tommy Dreamer. Giant versus The Undertaker. Kidman versus Chavo. Steiners versus Dudleys. Booker T versus RVD. Austin versus Rock versus Triple H versus Jericho. And TNA versus Power Plant. Radical. DDP was a star. Dreamer looked dreadful. Gained heat for the storyline, though, so that's all that matters to me. We then go to our main event of the night, Nerds and Geeks. We get a C+ rating, which... that's upsetting, to be honest. C+ rating with a 68, and about that had decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. Rob Van Dam drawing with Chuck Palumbo, so this is pretty much just a sports entertainment finish. When the match descended into chaos after Kurt Angle got involved, so Kurt Angle races down to the ring and probably just starts brawling with Chuck Palumbo. A referee's already knocked out. That's why I imagine Kurt Angle comes out, because he's about to use a weapon on RVD and take him out for good. Angle comes out. Him and Chuck start battling up the ramp and all that. Booker T was on commentary for this match as well, so that's why it lost heat for RVD in them as well. Hopefully this next segment will bring that back up. Doesn't help that RVD had a 61 and Chuck with a 71. We really got to get RVD's performance. That makes me worry about the main event, or not the main event, but makes me worry about. See, I want to say it's because it's a sports entertainment finish, so could be because of that. Who knows? Still gets me a little worried about Booker T and RVD's match, but I'm gonna hold hope that it said it was well booked. And it was done to a heart. What happened? It's penalized for match type finish, so even though it was well booked, the match type brought it down, I guess. That sucks. Probably because they're all... There you go. At least that brought it back up. I'm not too mad now. We brought heat back to the storyline. Anyway, after, Kurt and Palumbo, they fought their way back up to the entryway. They're out of the picture. Booker T finally gets in the ring. Like I said, he was on commentary for the previous match. He comes in. He's clapping, and he says, "So you're RVD. You know, I'll admit you impressive. But that's not going to be good enough. This Sunday, there ain't no way in hell you'll beat me for this championship. Look at the list of people who've tried. Diamond Dallas Page, The Rock, Chris Jericho. Just look at who I beat for the title, Scott Steiner. Do you really think you can compare to any of those men? Sure, you beat DDP last week with some outside help. But if that boy Dreamer never came out, then Unforgiven's headliner would be Booker T versus DDP. I won't give you an out, though. Like I said, you have talent, you have promise. You're probably the only one out of all these ECW foos who actually have a future. Ditch these clowns and join WCW." Booker T extends his hand, and then RVD, he asks Booker T for the mic. Booker T, gladly hands it over to him, and he says, Book, first of all, thank you. Thank you for all the kind words. It means a lot, man. Thank you. But about your offer, I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline, man. Paul Lee's always had my back, and I'm not about to turn mine on him. But best of luck this Sunday, man. I can't wait to see the look on your face when I beat you for the WCW title, since you like to underestimate me. And then RVD extends his hand. Booker T, he looks at RVD's hands, and he shakes it, and then he pulls RVD in close, and the two are, face to face, having a stare down. They're exchanging words. RVD goes to walk away. Booker T then pulls RVD back, back to hit him. RVD, ducks the clothesline, quickly counters, and hits him with one of those, back, kicks that he does. I don't remember, everyone who knows RVD knows what I'm talking about. That quick little whenever, someone, I'm not explaining it, you should know what I'm talking about. He hits the kick, lands it right on Book's jaw, takes him down, he then bounces off the ropes, hits Rolling Thunder on Booker T, and then, he sees Booker T, he sees his opportunity, he goes to get up on the top rope to hit a frog splash, but Booker T gains consciousness back, rolls out of the ring, and he leaves with his championship. And that leaves RVD standing in the ring, standing tall to end off Nitro, doing the Rob Van Dam pose to end off the show and send ECW fans home like, oh, are they about to give RVD the WCW championship? That'd be cool. Apparently Shane helped Booker T in the segment. I didn't know Shane was in the segment. RVD getting better at his gimmick. That's good. Booker T came out looking excellent. RVD performed poorly. It's fine. We end off the show. 85 B+, increasing our popularity in 3 regions, so, but, at the end of the day, Nerds and Geeks, it's not bad. I mean, not bad. Viewers said it was awesome, got fantastic reviews. I'm not complaining. Tommy Diablo's not complaining. Brian Adams is complaining. Oh no, I don't care. Rick Steiner says Jerry Lynn doesn't connect with the fans. You don't connect with the fans, Rick. Edge says Chavo doesn't connect with the fans. This is the first time I think RVD's ever said something bad about someone, and it just so happens to be an ECW guy. He says Sandman doesn't get it. When it comes to working a crowd, fire him and find someone who does know how to work. Jeez. And then Scott Steiner says, Brian Adams isn't charismatic. You should release him and hire someone better. Some of these, that was like all negatives. Like, that's some hard heat there, guys. Good Lord. Some hard heat there, guys. Let's check out the storylines before we end this off. So Chavo and Kidman find themselves at a 64C heading into the pay-per-view. Jericho Rock find themselves at a 95 star. Edge and Benoit with a 79B. Spike and Gregory Helms with the 50D+, but that's a heat feud. Angle and Palumbo with a 72B-. This isn't really a feud at the moment. Raven and Lance Storm with a 76B-. RVD and Booker T with a 75B-. Raven and... Jeez, that's a sad story. Ron Simmons and Sabu find themselves at a 72B-. TNA and Power Plant, same. Taker and Giant at a 91A. The Invasion Angle and Generals just at an 82B right now. Steiners and Dudleys at 76B-. Dreamer and Page at a 75. And Triple H and Stone Cold at a 98A star. All in all, good stuff, Nerds and Geeks. Good stuff. Before we end off the episode, I want to check to see where RVD and them find themselves in the region right now. Still a mid-carder, which I was hoping I can maybe get him to an upper mid-carder before the pay-per-view, but it doesn't look like it. Sandman, though, with that Hardcore Championship, we got to check that out before we end off the episode as well. I always like to see if the Prestige took a hit or anything, especially the Hardcore title, because that's a pretty prestigious title, guys, believe it or not. This didn't do anything, by the way. Look at that. It's still the same. Which, by the way, I love this new feature where you can track title prestige. Ooh, it did definitely take a hit off of it. Sandman, or Sabu, by the way, current champion. Look at this. It did take a hit, so it definitely took a hit. Maybe it didn't. I just remember it. I thought it was... Maybe I was thinking of the tag team titles. But, it is still more prestigious than the Intercontinental and United States Championship, so maybe it didn't, because it says last month that's what it was too, so either way, Sabu, current champion, good for him. Let's see what title that is for him. Oh, he's held many titles. Good for him. Good for Sabu. Was that his best match, by the way, against Ron Simmons? Nah, still freaking AGPW, come on. Whatever. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done already. And as always, my name's OMGWTF, LOLF to WBRB, and I will see you guys for Sunday Night Heat and for Unforgiven. So until then, have a good night. Because it's night for me. Have a good day, guys.